Hello, YouTubers. I just made a video about is premarital sex a sin, and made two videos, and I'm gonna talk about something different. I'm not gonna always talk about uh, the Bible and Christian beliefs and all that, or maybe I do like some. There's things that I like, like I like, like the model airplanes, flying RC control cars and stuff like that. And I'm a mechanic. I like working on cars and maybe someday I'll be showing my project car. I don't have one right now, but if I ever get one, I'll put it on YouTube, and or if I ever buy me an RC, airplane, I'll put that on there, and just different things, Um, I like to play guitar and I like to draw and stuff like that, but I'm not a very good. I don't draw real good, and I don't play guitar real good. But and I'm probably not gonna put a video of myself playing guitar or drawing. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about the phenomena that I've watched videos about, and it's the skinwalkers and the rake and UFO sightings and pretty scary stuff, And I just started wondering, well, how do these people happen to videotape when this stuff, or when they see something like that? How do they happen to videotape stuff like that? I mean, I don't have a video camera or anything, or I do have a cell phone, but I don't really take pictures. And then video, I don't do video or either. I mean, only on YouTube. But I say this, I don't think I'd wanna. I don't think I would want to see that stuff. I'd be scared out of my mind, if I saw, or the slenderman, that's another one. And I don't think I'd want to see stuff like that, I mean, I do like horror, and stuff like that, and then I get scared. And honestly, I sometimes I think, well, I'm gonna see something, a ghost or something after I watch a movie or whatever. But thank God I don't, and stuff. But I don't know. I just don't. I would be scared out of my mind, if I ever saw something like that. I mean, something like that ever happened to me, I don't know. Well, actually, I did one time have an experience where a friend of mine called, and he liked, rock and roll music, and he was listening to Debbie Harry, and suddenly I heard a voice, while he was talking to me. I heard a voice saying that, he was gonna kill me and all, and it was laughing, real evil. It was an evil laugh, and I asked him, "Do you hear that?" And he said, "No, I don't hear it." And I said, "Are you sure? You don't hear it?" He said, "Nope, I don't hear it." I said, you're not playing a joke on me. He used to like to play jokes, scared me half to death, But he swore he didn't hear it. And so I hung up the phone, and all of a sudden the phone rang again, and it was a terrible, scary laugh, And I asked, "Who are you?" And it just kept on laughing, and I hung up the phone, and then I called, and I was scared, and I said, don't be calling over here, or whatever, something like that. Well, it was my cousin instead, that was on the phone. I was, oh my God, and I called my grandma, and she didn't know what was going on. I was so scared. But I'm glad I never have had that experience again, and stuff. So, and we were Christians, I was Christian when I was a kid, and my grandma and grandpa, were Christians and all. I was raised in a Christian family and stuff. But I'm just, maybe this all this is happening because it might be the end times. We're getting close, and these beings are appearing, and they're manifesting, and so maybe that's how it's going to be in the end times. These beings are going to be, you're going to be able to see them, and they're going to be hideous and horrible, and just scary. Nothing like you never have seen anything like that. So but aliens are not, probably, I don't know if aliens, they're probably not from other planets and all that. They might be interdimensional beings and whatnot, but I can't say for sure, if they are, but and UFOs, and now that I'm thinking about UFOs, they could be, secret military aircraft, because we don't know everything that our government has been making, or technology has really jumped, and it's just really, and it's gonna get even more technology is gonna come out, and maybe someday cars will be flying, and there'll be flying saucers and stuff like that, we already have cell phones and whatnot, and internet, and whatever, and that was, that we're in the era of the Jetsons, we're living like the Jetsons. They had all that technology and stuff. They could see each other on a computer or on a camera. They could talk to each other and everything. So we're in that era, and so the government might have, they might have technology like that, where they have flying saucers and stuff, or aircraft that can go in different directions. We don't know and stuff. Maybe people are making a mistake and thinking they're aircraft from another planet, and stuff, from light years away, but they might be aircraft that our own government has made, just there's always an explanation, for stuff like that happening, and our government could be flying around all over the world, and people from different countries see the aircraft